100% it's verifiable. You know what else is verifiable, ladies and gentlemen? A new explosive investigation report from Wired.com has completely shattered this wall of secrecy surrounding this group known as Dialog. If you don't know about Dialog, this is a highly exclusive, invitation-only society of global elites co-founded by billionaire tech investor Peter Thiel. Now, for 2 decades, the hyper-secretive network operated in total silence in the shadows, bringing together senior U.S. politicians, Silicon Valley executives, celebrities, and top military commanders, CEOs, all of these people for secret summits off the record, completely, entirely off the record. So if you really wanted a prime example of what a conspiracy theory is, and by the way, if you're still one of these people that dismisses the idea of conspiracies, dismisses the idea that people are pulling the strings, dismisses the idea, and more so goes along the idea of, well, I just think it's corporate greed. I just think that it's like man's need to like conquer, and like they'll always go into this weird philosophical thing, but they'll always go, well, I just don't think that everybody would agree to that. It's just like crazy. A lot of it's Europeans, Nordic folks, Midwesterners. They're the types that bobble their heads around. They don't really think very much about how the evil minds of other people are. Listen, it is inherently good. It is good to assume that other people have good intentions. It's a good thing to assume that, oh, maybe this scientist who's producing a vaccine wants to produce a vaccine not to make money for himself or the vaccine company, or why are you able to trademark vaccines or whatever? Okay, whatever, I guess. People are able to make money off of it. I'm not going to look into the details of it, but like, who would be crazy enough to debut any sort of experiments on the wide populace with vaccines? That's crazy. They're the same people who fell for the Anthony Fauci shit. They're the same people who refuse to come to the forefront and say, well, the government is run by pedophiles. It's a fact of nature. These are the same people that dismiss a lot of things surrounding the Clintons. They're like, well, Hillary, no, this whole talk about Anthony Weiner's laptop, her killing children on a ping pong table, it's just too crazy. That's the same types of people that have been making excuses for the New World Order, that have been covering up the facts that Jesuits, Jews are all working together in order to create a brand new world order. All of these sorts of people, they are going to look at this story about Dialog, this Peter Thiel big network of celebrity CEOs and all of these big military commanders types, and they are going to say, well, maybe they're just like talking. Maybe it's like the World Economic Forum. Maybe their intentions aren't all that bad. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, let's cover whether or not you think their motives are bad. The group's closely guarded anonymity was imploded, essentially. It fell apart after the massive data leak exposed the internal directory and participant profiles of its members right out in the open. The security breach, first discovered by a Swiss hacktivist and verified by Wired, has unmasked the staggering roster of powerful figures slated to attend Dialog's upcoming closed-door retreat near Dublin, Ireland in August. Okay. Among the 222 named registrants are high-level political and military decision-makers. This includes Texas Senator Ted Cruz, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, and General Alexis Grenkiewicz, the NATO's supreme allied commander in Europe. Crucially, though, the leaks verify that none of the public officials used official government email addresses to sign up, opting instead for personal or corporate accounts to intentionally keep their attendance shielded from federal public record laws. And listen, I've given a full list of all of their attendees that has been leaked online. Guests and invitees, attendees, all of it. It's at the top of the description, this list that we've gotten. Does anyone remember a few months back in February, a celebrity by the name of Joseph Gordon-Levitt was in front of Congress trying to campaign for the repealing of Section 230. Section 230. 1996 U.S. law protects the internet intermediaries from the civil liability for third-party content. Basically, it grants them freedom to moderate their platforms, ensuring that the speaker, not the host or the website, is held responsible for illegal or defamatory statements. So, essentially, he wants to take back this law, opening up companies to lawsuits for things hosted on their platforms. As it turns out, Joseph Gordon-Levitt was revealed to be a part of this group and working with Peter Thiel's secret society, and as a matter of fact, this section, Section 230, repealing it is a part of Project 2025. And suddenly, major liberal Democrat Joseph Gordon-Levitt is advocating for the reduction of your freedom of speech on these platforms. Interesting, ladies and gentlemen. It's almost as though these divisions are created falsely in order to prop up the ideas of right versus left while also proceeding to get nothing done and rape and pillage the population. It's crazy. Isn't it crazy that that might be the truth? Cory Booker is a part of this group. Ted Cruz, Elon Musk, Wes Moore, Scooter Braun, Dan Driscoll, Tim Ferriss, Adam D'Angelo, the founder of Quora, Reid Hoffman, Severin Hacker, that's the CEO of Duolingo, Ezra Klein, Brent Stevens, Brett, not Brent, at the New York Times, Brian Johnson, the longevity guy who's trying to live forever, John Levin, president of Stanford, Jared Polis, governor of Colorado, Scott Bessent, secretary of the Treasury, Larry Summers, former secretary of the Treasury, Jared Kushner, of course. Folks, right and left are not real. They're tools that are made to convince you that these people are on opposite teams and they just want what's best for you. Repealing Section 230 is, listen, it doesn't matter if Project 2025, doesn't matter if it's right or if it's left, they'll do it if they think it benefits them financially. Guys, this is all fake. It's all a big show. When you look at behind the scenes, all these actors are buddies. AOC is good friends with a lot of people across the aisle, and all of them, they're as good of buddies as coworkers can be. They're all putting on a play for us. Quit thinking blue no matter who or red or dead is going to get either of your sides anywhere. Your sides aren't even real. You're a dumbass for saying, I'm a liberal Democrat. I'm a conservative Republican. You're a fucking retard is what you are. They're working with the other side that you and them supposedly hate behind the scenes. The two of them are in the deepest of cahoots. You want to know one of the most major people supporting Joseph's plea and plan? Lindsey Graham. Every Congress man and woman, whatever, because there's men and women in this, that is backing the appeal to destroy the facet of free speech right here. They're all funded by Israel. You can look it up for yourself. AIPAC has donated to every single one of them, which is also interesting. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, along with other celebrities like Amy Poehler, Gillian Anderson, she's from The Crown and whatnot. She played Margaret Thatcher, Scott Galloway, LL Cool J, Stephen Bartlett, and tech giants like Google, Meta, Intel, Amazon, Siemens, and Stripe Inc. They all pulled out of an annual tech conference Web Summit following tweets by the event's CEO Patty Cosgrave, where she had said that the government of Israel was guilty of war crimes in Gaza after October 7th, which is true. But Joey here, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Miss, Parks and Rec or whatever, all these other cunts, they got the big Jewy hand on their shoulder that led them all to reconsider their attendance. I also want to say, Joseph Gordon-Levitt claims to be one of these artist first types. He started the hit record bullshit, hating on AI and all that junk, but his wife, Tasha McCulley, has been an OpenAI board member around 2023. She was one of the folks that tried to axe Sam Altman from the company. Obviously, it didn't work. None of this is remotely surprising, though, ladies and gentlemen. When you look into it, Joseph is proudly 100% Ashkenazi Jew. Listen, it's like the Christians, it's like the Jedi, it's like these evil cultist groups. They're all the same. The Jews are no different. They get these kids when they're young. They say that 5 is too old to be for Jedi training. And the Christians are the same. The Jews are the same. The Muslims are the same. They want to get into kids' heads when they're young. They make them mindless servants to the order that the kids don't even understand. They just serve the order, and they serve out their purpose, and that they think they developed themselves. And the Jews, the Jesuits, all of them do mind control. MK Ultra, trauma-based mind control, sexual abuse tactics. That's why everybody goes public with it and nobody's listened to. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's an open secret that the Catholic Church does these mind control habits on everybody. And Joseph here has been in this business since he was a young jit. I know. I loved Third Rock from the Sun. The only reason French Stewart wasn't in any of these chats is probably because I don't think anybody really knows where he is. After Home Alone 4, he kind of disappeared. Even if they wanted to invite him, they couldn't find him. But folks, whether or not you're proud 100% Ashkenazi Jew or you're proud 100% Catholic, you serve the New World Order, and nobody should be taking any words or wisdom from your corrupted Luciferian heads. Joseph's all like, "What? Why do you want there to be an internet that's free and open? Don't you hate when anyone can say anything on Twitter? Don't you hate when people have opinions different than yours? Protect the children. Also trans the children when they're like 10, so when they don't even know what sex is. Protect the tranny kids." Now we're getting into Pedro Pascal territory. And beyond exposing the high-profile attendee list, the leaked files, pulled back the curtain on this bizarre and unsettling topic that they're discussing. Listen, there's so many topics that they are having at these closed-door places. Dialog, the Society's official agenda, features off-the-record breakout sessions with titles ranging from Navigating World War III, Battlefield Technologies, Bring Back Nuclear, Build a Cult. More talks include How's Your Sex Life, and Money Does Buy Happiness. The data trove also exposed highly sensitive personal data that members were explicitly promised would remain private, which is great. I love that, including the recorded political leanings of participants and information from specialized matchmaking features designed to run a private dating network for the group's exceptional people. What the fuck? The blockbuster exposure of the Dialog has immediately triggered a scrutiny on Capitol Hill, drawing a lot of harsh comparisons to the infamous Bilderberg Group. And if you don't know about the Bilderberg Group, I guess I can go through it quick. The Bilderberg meetings, or the club also, they're an elite invite-only, similar kind of form, established in 1954, 1954, to foster dialogue between Europe and North America. They essentially were the ones that organized, and really they were at the center, them and the breakaway government of NASA. They were the ones that were key in making sure that the British Empire didn't fully collapse after the Suez Crisis in 1953. They said, well, okay, our economic power, and by the way, the Suez Crisis of 1953, look into it more, because it is directly paralleling this crisis that we're having with the Strait of Hormuz, and it's not even that far away. So the British Empire fell apart after that. They realized that their soft power was useless, their hard power was even more useless, and this was just an embarrassment. Their economy fell apart afterwards. The British Empire essentially collapsed. And the 1960s, you get all the Beatles, and everybody thinks that that's really the time when the UK was rocking. Really, the UK was rocking when they actually had factories, they had jobs, they had people that were, living pretty decent lives. It's not when everybody had mod haircuts and was dancing and having free sex all over each other like Austin Powers. It was like the time when people were proud to be Brits was when, the banks were solid, when they knew that their money carried meaning overseas. And now, unfortunately, after the Suez Crisis, they needed somewhere to move this empire. They needed this global elite force. They eventually organized the idea that NASA would help the breakaway government move its headquarters on over to the United States. There would become the major organizing power behind, it's obvious that the British Navy is not the one ensuring the free and open trade of the seas. It's the United States now. And unfortunately, it's going to be shifting to China. It's going to be shifting to Iran. It's going to be shifting to Russia because of the Arctic Circle. Really, what you're going to see here is less so the American dollar guaranteeing the waterways. It's more so every person or every empire is going to try to expand out as much as they can to cover as much territory as they can. And even these little nations that you never thought were going to be major players, like Iran, the 34th largest economy in the world, even these countries will now say, we're not being ignored. And if you ignore us, we're going to shut down your trade, and we're going to affect 34% of the world economy, especially when it relates to crude oil. Okay. The conference brings together about 130 to 150 influential political figures, industry executives, and experts to discuss major geopolitical and economic issues and fierce debates over over democratic accountability. Critics are arguing that allowing the tech industry's most powerful data and surveillance architects to hold unmonitored private strategy sessions and sitting with lawmakers, military commanders, undermines essential public oversight. Peter Thiel's representatives and the named participants have maintained a strict, ironclad silence in the wake of the data dump. They're not going to be bringing any of this up. As a matter of fact, this is the story I'm going to be clipping in order to get it around as much as I can. The massive security slip-up, though, has ensured that one of Silicon Valley's most powerful shadow networks now has, we've had a glance at the internal workings of it, and now it's in the public spotlight. However, NBC News won't cover this. CBS will not cover this. The most you're going to hear about it is from little channels like mine, unfortunately, or on Instagram. It's going to, if you're going to be in the areas that I am, where it's like most people are just it's that one girl who swings the golf club and then lists a bunch of shit about bills that have come out this week. She's one of the main people that has been informing people about the car manufacturing after 2027, where it's going to have an interlock system that's going to read your eyes, detect whether or not you're intoxicated. She's she's doing some good. She's spreading the message, which I'm very happy about. Let's take a look. I want to take a break before we cover the fact that Zelensky has declared that Moscow will burn. I want to take a break, and I want to see this little beautiful Jew. I love him. I love him so much. It's weird to see Tommy from Third Rock from the Sun selling out to Peter Thiel in his older age. Let's see this.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I'm
I love that he said gentlemen because he knows no women are in this room.
to talk about the Section
It's a bunch of executives and a bunch of lawmakers. There's no women.
230 Sunset Act. If you don't know and you're watching, Section 230, what it does is basically says that a platform on the internet can't be held liable for the content that it hosts.
Of course.
Which I realize sounds sort of technical and boring. So why did I come out here to Washington, D.C. to support this?
You need to
first and foremost,
sell tickets?
it's because I'm a dad,
I'm a dad.
as the senator said.
I'm a faggot.
I have a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 3-year-old.
I'm gonna get choked
And,
up.
A lot of people here today.
I have a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 3-year-old. I would have had a 12-year-old, but I had to slay my firstborn in order to get into this Hollywood shit.
Our parents, whose kids
I have
just heard a
kids.
couple stories that left me trying to keep myself together.
Keep myself
These
together.
photos remind me of my kids.
Remind me of my
And,
kids.
The harm
The
that was
harm.
done to these kids online might have been prevented
Might.
if certain big tech companies knew that they could be sued. But under Section
What?
230, they cannot be.
So wait a minute, because you can't manage your child's online inflow. Okay, you get your kid an Instagram profile. Bad thing to do, by the way. Bad thing to do. If you get your kid a touchscreen in general, what are you doing? Get your kid a flip phone at the very most, and they don't even need it. Are we talking about like a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, and however old you said your kid was? Why are you giving them technology? You're asking for him to get groomed.
So these amoral companies, they just...
Amoral company. By the way, anytime anybody says immoral or amoral or whatever, I'm like, don't try to pull morality on me, all right, Tommy Solomon. You are in no position to be lecturing anybody about moralities, okay? That's not your place.
keep allowing these awful things to happen on their platform, and they don't do anything about it because they will always prioritize profits.
They don't do
over
anything.
The public good.
Public
Even when it comes to
good.
kids.
This is like the social reckoning, the new thing that's coming out, where they're making another shame piece on Mark Zuckerberg, where essentially this is Jeremy Strong is going to be in it. He played Roy Cohen in The Apprentice, which I still think should have won an Oscar. That was a great performance. If you haven't seen The Apprentice, highly recommend it. Highly, highly, highly. It's about our current president, so it matters. And Sebastian Stan plays him. He plays what is the guy? Who's the one who plays opposite of Captain America? The Winter Soldier, I don't know his name. Everybody knows his name. I don't know it. But him, Sebastian Stan, he plays Trump, and then Jeremy Strong plays Roy Cohen. It's a beautiful, incredible performance. And essentially what they're doing now is the social reckoning is coming out, and it's saying it's basically a shame piece to put Facebook on blast because parents don't know how to manage their children. They give their children Facebook, they give their children screens, and they give their children screen time because they don't want to raise their children. They'd rather their children make friends with some 30-year-old in a chat room. They don't want to sit down. Listen, you know what my family used to do instead of allowing me, my sister to go out and we would type on go to the chat rooms or whatever. Me and my sister weren't in chat rooms. Do you know what we were doing? We were playing Life, the board game. I'm not saying we were playing Life, like getting high on Life, like one of these faggots, like the one girl from Freaks and Geeks. I'm getting high on Life. No, like my mom and my stepdad were like, come on, let's play a board game or something. Just to spend time with your children. Spend time with your children. Take interest in their interests. It's not that hard. They are going to look for approval and attention from somebody. And if you don't give it to them, if you're no, I'm going to sit here and watch Love Island. If you don't put honestly, Jackbox Games is not that expensive. And if you really want your kid to have a fucking flat screen, only let the internet go to fucking Jackbox TV and then play that with your kids. You know what I mean? Just family. Family is the solution here. It's not saying, oh, my kid killed himself because he spent too much time on Instagram. It's because, you know what? Your son had these weird addictive habits where he was willing to invest himself in anything. And you know what? You didn't help him channel it. You didn't help him figure your things out. And I understand that you're just some parent. You don't know what you're doing. You just had this kid thrown on you because you had sex one day, and now you have to figure it out from there. I get it. That's how most of this shit works out. But it's I gotta tell you, if your kid is deeply upset because they're getting bullied on social media, because they're getting whatever, they're going on, and fucking talking to like chat rooms of like 20-year-old people, it's your fault. It's your fault for allowing your child the access to the internet in the first place. It's your fault, and you got to take responsibility for it. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, bring on the tears, buddy.
And beyond being a dad, there's nothing in the world I love more than my family, but I do have a certain kind of love for the internet.
Satan. I love the internet. I love Satan.
An online community called Hit Record. It's still very dear to me. So I understand what Section 230 did to bring about the birth of the internet. That was 30 years ago. And I also understand how the internet has changed since then. Because back then, message boards and other websites with user-generated content, they really were more like telephone carriers. They were neutral platforms.
Well, the reason that they're not neutral, if you don't like the fact that Facebook is integrating systems, they're like censoring certain things, blame the Biden administration. It's not that hard if you want to research the actual government influence over social media, it began with the Biden administration. And if you trace it back, you can go to Operation Mockingbird. The CIA has been involved with, not only the local media, the news, the press, major news outlets, they literally puppeteer all of these agencies to do whatever they want. Mark Zuckerberg is not a heavy Republican. He's not a heavy Democrat. He's wherever the wind blows. That's what he is.
Today, the internet is dominated by a small handful of these gigantic businesses that are not at all neutral, but instead algorithmically amplify whatever gets the most attention and maximizes ad revenue. And we know what happens when we let these engagement optimization algorithms be the lens that we see the world through. We get a mental health crisis, especially amongst young people. We get a rise...
Because young people are retarded, and their families give them phones way too damn early.
Extremism and a rise in conspiracy theories. And then, of course...
Because conspiracy theories are correct. This is exactly where it boils down to. He doesn't want you to be able to share your ideas openly. Because he doesn't think they're your ideas. He thinks you've been corrupted by this force that is beyond anybody's way of identifying you. We can't really tell. We can't put a name on it, but it's anti-Semitism. You have been corrupted. These words are not yours. You are a puppet of Hitler from beyond the grave. That is, at least according to most people, if you have any sort of leanings or ideas that are outside of the mainstream, if you think that maybe the Jesuits and the Jews are up to some shit, they want your account deleted.
We get these echo chambers. These algorithms, they amplify.
An echo chamber you elect to stand in. Wait a minute. Are we blaming the places where echo chambers are created or the people who are standing in them? That is just, it's up to you whether or not you want to listen to an opinion. If you don't want to, scroll. That's you.
The demonization of the other side so badly.
There is no other side. You literally prove the conspiracy that the right and the left are non-existent. Whatever, it doesn't matter. If you want to hear more of his, not her, he might be trans. I don't know. He had the long hair in the first few seasons of Third Rock from the Sun. Holy God, am I starting a theory that Joseph Gordon-Levitt is trans? Wait a minute. I've seen The Night Before. I've seen many of his films. I've seen The Dark Knight Rises. He has a rather feminine build. I have to stop right now. I have to stop because it's gonna turn into Brigitte Macron, where we all know that the First Lady of France is a man. We all know it, and if you don't know it yet, you should just look into it like a little bit. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't know where to go from here. I don't know where to go. Joseph, if you think this is the right move to line your pockets, great. Can you put in a good word? I'd love to join. I'd love to. Listen, I'm not going to be cutting my hand open. I'm not going to be slaying any children, but I'll just show up for the shrimp cocktail. I'm just going to be honest. It sounds like it's a fun get together. It sounds like it's a hangout. All right, whatever.